Hello and welcome to my shop, where I like to learn a lot of things and make things for my hobbies. I'm hoping you'll join me in doing that. Today we're going to learn about these breadboards that we use for wiring up electronic circuits. We're going to learn a little bit how they work the way they do and how we can use them. With that, let's get started. So I've got a couple of breadboards here. One is obviously a little older, it's discolored, but I'm going to use it to show you some things. I was able to rip the back of it off so I can show you the inside of it basically. But before we do that, I've kind of broken it down into three major areas on the breadboard, and I want to discuss those. So the first one is going to be the power rails. We have a negative and a positive power rail that go across the top here, and one that goes across the bottom. Now on this older board, it doesn't go all the way across. It goes to here and there's a break here. So if you wanted power to go all the way across, you would have to add a couple of jumpers like I've done down here. The second area is the terminal strips in the middle. So these are basically 5 holes and they're wired together, but they're not connected to the wires next to them or to the holes next to them. So these are fed this way. Power rails go this way, terminal strips in the center go this way. Then there's the valley that breaks the different terminal strips up. The reason the valley is there is it's great for if you're going to be using like an IC chip or an integrated circuit like I have here. If I put this down in there, the pins on these IC chips are all supposed to be wired different. They all have a different purpose. But these 2 pins on the back here would be connected through this terminal strip. So with the valley we can put it in between, and now they're all separate. So this terminal strip connects to that pin, this pin connects to this terminal strip, and so on. So the valley is used mainly for different components. You can put across that valley and still access different pins separately. So I took this old board, let's turn it over here, and I wanted to show you a little bit how it works. So the power rails, like on this one, it's all one thin piece of metal that goes across. It does have a break here, so you would have to jumper it like I said. And then these, the terminal strips in the middle, they're all separate. They go this way, connecting those 5 pins. But there's also a break during that valley, so they're not connected to the ones down below. Now what these metal pins are, I don't know if I basically it's like a little metal clip that when you have a component and the leg goes in that component, it's connecting the metal on both sides. Okay, so one other thing I want to talk about is on our power rails that go across the top and the bottom. As you can see on the back of this one when we flipped it over, they're not connected. So if you want to utilize the same power on both of these strips, we do need to add jumpers. So I'm going to go ahead and do that now. I'm going to add a jumper going from the negative terminal on the top to the negative down here, and I'm going to add a positive the same way. Positive from this top power rail to the bottom power rail. Now when we're wiring our circuit, we can utilize either the top or the bottom, same power. I have seen some people, and I've done it myself, I will use like a 5-volt supply on the top and a 12-volt supply on the bottom. That can be done, but you have to be very careful not to confuse them. Obviously you would not want those jumpered. So another thing that I've done in the past is on some of these, the power rail will actually come off. You can see how this separates a little bit here. The glue on the back is keeping it from coming off. Oh, there it goes. So what you can do is, if you really want to include like a 12 volt circuit or something like that, you can actually add yet another power rail to this one. And I kind of like it that way just because now it's even discolored, so it indicates that it's a different rail altogether. 12 volts going through that one, and then 5 volts going through my other one here. Okay, so with our terminal strips in the middle, we can hook up, let's say, an LED here, and we can hook up I'm using a 330 ohm resistor, so I can bring power from our top strip to the positive pin of the LED, and then we can go from the negative pin of the LED to the negative pin on our power rail. Or the alternative to doing that, which I kind of like to do, I think it's a little cleaner, is I'll use the valley here for my component, like in this case the LED. I'm going to go from same 330 ohm resistor. I'm going to go from the negative pin of the LED to our power rail, and then I'm going to go from the positive pin of the LED to the power rail up here. I just think by using the valley that way it's a little cleaner, and by using these jumpered power rails, you can see that the power just flows this direction across that breadboard. So now all we need to do to get either one of these tiny little circuits functioning is add power to our power rails. So I've got an outside 5-volt power supply that I'm hooking up here. There we go. And you can see we have power. So that, my friends, is how a breadboard works. Go ahead and leave a comment down below. Let me know what your first project's going to be, or if you've already been working on something, let me know what you're working on. I'd love to hear from you. Also, if you enjoyed this video and if you learned anything from it, please hit the like button and go ahead and subscribe. That way you can see all the other videos that I'm going to have coming out about making things and learning things about the hobbies. So let's learn together. Have a great day.